This animal is a pet that was raised by King Zun. It was bred from many rare and ferocious creatures in the world. However, soon after, a disease broke out in the surrounding areas of the palace. The people begged the court for protection and to find a cure. But tuong, wanting to create a rebellion, spread false rumors that the disease came from the king's pet. He also made a false decree to expel and kill the people and threw them into a deep pit to quell the people's unrest. The king had to compromise and ordered the execution of all the monsters in the palace to overcome this disaster, but they did not know that there was a very healthy monster being raised. The caretaker released it down the water pipe, which led to the pit of the infected people's bodies. Of the disease quickly reached the king's ears. He sent Luke to investigate the truth and dispel the rumors with the people. They went up the mountain together. Many years later, the disease broke out again, along with rumors of a diseased monster. The news but did not know that this was a trap set by the prime minister to assassinate all the common people and to spread rumors of a monster attack, causing the king to lose the support of the people and his throne. With the prime minister's heavy forces, Luke was captured, and General Suim captured Luke's daughter and threw her into the abyss. But by luck, they survived and managed to escape. The enemy tried to kill them, but their poor skills caused the arrow to miss the target. I didn't expect there to be real monsters here. It jumped up with force and the soldiers were so scared they almost wet themselves. But they quickly reacted, raised their bows and attacked it. The monster said the arrows from the soldiers were like mosquito bites, scratching it lightly. It slowly backed off, then rushed out from another side and started tearing apart the soldiers. While the monster was attacking others, Luke and Sung managed to escape from their ropes. They tied the rope to a boulder, jumped down into the monster's den to look for the girl. This place was full of human bones. Luke also found Min, who was unconscious. Suddenly an old man rushed out and told them to quickly put the monster's urine on their bodies to cover up the smell. Just as he put out the fire, a body fell from above. The monster had won and returned. It turned out its vision wasn't clear and it relied on its sense of smell and hearing to attack. At this point, the monster started feasting on its spoils while Sung was behind it, feeling nauseous from the stench. Luckily, the old man managed to cover his nose in time. After finishing their meal, the monster lay down on the ground and went to sleep. Luke also discovered a way out. As they were about to leave, Min stepped on a branch and made a noise, waking the monster up. The girl froze in fear, afraid that the monster would discover her. Although its eyes couldn't see, its senses were very sharp. In a moment of crisis, Luke threw a rock at its head. Just as everyone was crawling out of the cave, they thought going into a small narrow mountain cave would be safe, but the monster was determined not to let them go. With its strength, it crashed through the mountain cave. They ran for their lives just as the monster was about to catch up to them. There was a mountain wall in front of them, but luckily there was a river below. They had no choice but to jump in. They drifted along with the current and ended up in a water pipe in the palace. It was only then that the old man revealed the whole story. The monster was a creature he had released 20 years ago. He didn't expect it to become a giant after it had consumed the body of someone who had died from an illness. Just as he finished talking, the monster suddenly chased after them. They were scared and ran in panic, climbing the stairs and trying to get away, but the monster kept getting closer. Then, they heard a bell ringing. The old man knew he had committed a serious offense, so he stayed behind to prolong their chances of escape. Because he had once been kind to the monster, it didn't attack him immediately. He followed the sound of the bell and went into a cage. The old man saw his opportunity and closed the cage door. Countless arrows flew at the monster, but its skin was as thick as 12 layers of leather and it was not hurt, but was angered. It decided to forget about the old man and focus on the others. The cage was no match for the monster's strength. Now the old man was only a dessert, while the cage was nothing in front of the monster's power. Luke quickly found the emperor and reported about the monster. The only way to defeat it was to gather all the soldiers together and fight it as one. The emperor immediately ordered it, but none of the soldiers responded. Suddenly, an arrow flew and hit the emperor's shoulder. It turns out that General Sim had initiated a rebellion. Luke, who was loyal to the emperor, broke the arrow on his shoulder and fought alone to protect him. Although Luke was very brave, the rebels were too many. He fought alone while the emperor was captured, eventually having to lower his sword. The result was predetermined. Sim revealed everything. He used rumors to deceive the people and then pinned all the crimes on the emperor. At that moment, he would mobilize the people's hearts. While he was still arrogant, the ground trembled violently. The monster emerged from the ground and attacked. Sim was knocked down by it. The rebels rushed forward thinking they could defeat the monster, but they were trampled under its feet. The emperor picked up the bow and arrow, tied Luke up and walked out. Inside, there were only lifeless bodies left. The monster continued to massacre those outside. Sim ran over and ordered the use of explosive arrows to fight it. Countless arrows flew towards the monster but it didn't seem affected at all. It became angrier and attacked more crazily. Sim continued to order surrounding the monster and eventually tying it down. Sim looked at the monster in front of him and found it ugly. He wanted to kill it in front of the world to win the people's hearts. At this point, the monster spits out saliva and soldiers who are hit by it immediately vomit blood. The monster can also break free from the ropes because of this. It attacks more fiercely and the soldiers are scared and run away. Sim sees that things are not right and takes 2 subordinates with him to escape. He climbs up the stairs and when he is cornered by the beast, he tells it that the people below are all respectful of it. The monster looks down and ultimately swallows Sim whole. He also pays the price for his crimes. The beast climbs onto the roof and roars in anger, preparing to attack the people. A flare distracts its attention and Luke shoots an arrow at its head. Since its vision is impaired, Luke uses sound to lure it forward. Sung has already placed explosives under the palace, so as long as Luke lures the monster there, it can be blown up. Min is outside the palace, standing there in fear. Her father quickly pulls her inside. At this time, a wounded soldier grabs Min's leg and rushes towards her, but he cannot see and crashes into a pole. The pole falls on him. Meanwhile, Luke instructs Min to help him place the explosives while he leads the monster. Her father stays behind a pole, picks up a bow and arrow from the ground, and lures the monster towards him. At that moment, Min shouted that she had finished setting up the explosives. Luke heard this and, despite his injuries, jumped into the pit. The monster charged right after him. As it fell to the ground, Sung lit the fuse. Everyone quickly retraced their steps, but the creature knocked down the door, disabling the fuse. Luke pushed Sung out and locked the door behind him while he stayed to light the fuse again. Using a torch, he relit the fuse but was hit by the creature before he could move away. He accidentally fell onto the pile of explosives just as the creature charged at him. He quickly lit a torch and put it on the explosives, causing an explosion that destroyed everything in the area, killing the creature. Min finally found her father amid the commotion, and Luke, who had been badly burned, miraculously survived by using the rope to escape the explosion.